Let's find our edge. Question for the day is, how do I use essentialism to be elite? And essentialism is based on Greg McKeown's book, right? The Discipline of Pursuit of Less. So the myth that we're debunking.
I've been speaking about this.
Of less. God, I like that.
I've been speaking about this for a long time. I think, especially as we talk about sales leaders, you're struggling, do more. Do more. You gotta do more of the reps and show up more and show up earlier and doing all this stuff. They don't talk about upskilling. They don't talk about how do you get better. Because people who get better don't have to do as much.
Doing more has a runway, right? Like you can only do more for so long. It's exhausting.
It's what burns people out. You made 100 calls, make 150 calls. You're not working hard enough.
When does it ever
stop? And
they
equated that more with working harder, like it was a badge of honor. I never got that. I said, you know what? Marathon, I'm going to do it daily. I'm going to do a set number of behaviors.
High performers do less, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about Kobe for a second, because there's a great story about Kobe Bryant being on the Olympic team, right? And all the young guys being there, and they get to the hotel and they're getting ready and they're coming back in from the night out. And Kobe is headed back to his room after having already finished a lift and been up for 2 hours and in a full sweat.
And they were freaking
out. So Kobe wasn't getting less sleep, right? He was getting 8 hours of sleep, maybe even more than that. He was up earlier, right? But not doing more than everybody else.
I have to smile because I know which path you're leading me down. Because when you said high performers actually do less,
right?
Which is the counterintuitive, because he's doing more of the right stuff,
right? Right. So he's actually practicing more than you.
Oh my God! What a revelation! I mean, I think the feedback we get on the process that we've installed for people who are in biz dev. It's 6 behaviors.
Right.
If you get 6 behaviors and you become really, really good at that, I mean, they've asked so many great athletes. I remember when they asked Derek Jeter and he goes, it was boring, man. I did the same things over and over for 20 years, but I got great at those things.
So the concept of essentialism, that word essential, what is essential to the success, right? What are the things that absolutely have to happen in order for me to try to influence the outcome and then do nothing other than that?
So it's really funny.
Like a priority management.
I read this, Gong did a report, and they said that the amount of time that salespeople or biz dev people spend developing new relationships is at the bottom of the heap. It's like the number one thing they're supposed to do. So, but if you ask those people, I'm really busy.
Right.
Busy is not
time. I don't have time for
I think this is the best place to insert, which probably is like the biggest Steveism of life, is success leaves clues.
Right.
Right. And we're going to get into an AI episode down the road here too. So that's going to lead to whole, but for the most part, success has already been attained by a lot of people. Right. And you've seen what they've done, and they've written books about what they've done.
It's not a secret.
And they've had podcasts, and everybody's talking about everything that they've done to be successful. So there's not necessarily mandatory for you to test everything. Right.
Correct.
But if you are in a new department, you're in a new initiative, sometimes you don't know exactly what's going to lead to success, right? And you have to test. And so how do you balance that? How do you go from I need to do a lot to see what works to then tailor it back to focus on the things that do work?
That's a really good perspective.
Because I don't think you can just
eliminating behaviors
can hurt.
Is equal to
to doing more of the good things. In order to be able to do more of the things that matter, you got to do less of other stuff.
When I started speaking, it was one of the pieces of content that got the most. I said, more is not better.
Right.
And people would go, okay, well, I go, so what's better? Better is better. Like, be better, be elite, be great at what you do. You're a great trainer.
Networking events, like we talk about that in our process. Is it essential to go to the same network and be around the same 12 people?
Same event, same people, same faces, same room, doing it over and over and over every month, right?
It takes a lot of guts to not go there. Because that's the flow.
To answer your question, Jake, you got to look at the results. If what you're doing is not helping you grow, if you've hit a plateau, then you got to go, oh, we got to change, right? And you might not know what that answer is. You might have to experiment. And then when you experiment, you do it, right? You apply it with some consistency and some discipline. You go, what happened? Right? Could be a week, could be 2 weeks, could be a month, could be 90 days, never more than 90 days. If you're still doing something after 90 days and it's not changing behavior, not changing results for you, you're wasting your time.
He's taught me in the gym, I don't need to go for an hour and a half. I don't need to overdo it. I get in, I do what I'm supposed to do, and I get
But
out.
I got there from testing a lot, though, by doing a lot and over-indexing myself sometimes and learning that way. And so I think that, especially from a younger generation, to have that essentialism for someone who's 27 is tough. Like, because I try to do everything.
Well, you guys have all the time in the world. It's nice.
What would you say is essential in what we do? What is an essential behavior that you would think, if this is the world you live in, you have to be great at this?
Building relationships.
Period.
End of story.
And you know what? Technology, guys, and that's what I love about what's happened to our company, is we've embraced technology in a way I don't think I could have done. But it's made it so much easier to achieve the things that I did without technology. It was hard. It was time consuming. It was not as genuine, I think, as today. In 2 seconds, you can create 5 relationships.
Well,